Hey George! I'm Izzy.
And I'm Emmy.
And today we're going to Harry Potter the exhibition in New York. And we're going to give you a general review and show you some of the ride. So,
yeah, enjoy.
enjoy. So we have arrived at the exhibition. I don't really know what to expect. So they gave us our wristbands and now we are on the escalator.
We found the magic stairs.
Yep. So, nothing very magical about the escalator, but downstairs looks really cool. And I'm excited to see what mysteries are up here. Our photos, and now we're heading into what I assume is the actual exhibition. Ooh.
This is where the magic happens, I assume.
Whoa, a magical fan.
A magical fan. This is my favorite part of the whole story, the fan.
Hey guys, these next set of doors are locked, and we're gonna need a spell to open them. Do you know what the spell is? Good. You don't?
I don't.
You don't. Does anyone else know what the spell is?
Alohomora.
It's Alohomora. What house are you in?
Slytherin.
Slytherin. Good news for me. I'm a Slytherin. Do we have any other Slytherins in the room?
No, here.
Oh, okay. So you just
Tiny.
won 10 house points.
I got house
Woo! There we go. Good job, guys.
We're so cool. We're so cool. We're so cool. With our fancy words.
In this room, the Marauders map is yours to explore. In about a minute and a half, we'll play a short video and a Hogwarts ambiance for you. But if you're looking for something to do, tap your wristbands to go to the selection points on either side.
Immediately after the projections, they ushered us into a corridor displaying living paintings. There were no staff to be found throughout the rest of the exhibit, and they abandoned us pretty abruptly. Through the corridor were props and costumes signature to each house. Slytherin had the costumes of Bellatrix Lestrange, Draco Malfoy, Albus Potter, and Scorpius Malfoy from The Cursed Child. Their wands were also on display. The Gryffindor section had the sword of Godric Gryffindor, instantly catching the eye. Next to it were the school uniforms of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, complete with the cloaks.
The Hufflepuff area started off similarly to the others, with the costumes of characters Cedric Diggory, Tonks, and my personal favorite, Hufflepuff student. They also displayed the corresponding wands of Tonks and Cedric. We didn't get a clear shot of Ravenclaw House, but it featured Luna Lovegood and Cho Chang.
The following wands exhibit displayed iconic wands from beloved characters Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, and Harry Potter. There is also an interactive spell you could cast on one of the screens in the room, which could earn you house points.
After the wands was the Great Hall, which was stunningly displayed with the iconic floating candles from the first movie and a screen in the background unrolling house flags over each table. Across from this display was Minerva McGonagall's costume, and overall this was beautifully set up.
Next came what I think was one of my favorite parts of the exhibition, the potions classroom. It showcased both Slughorn's and Snape's costumes and had an interactive potion brewing game that earned you house points. I brewed Living Death while Emmy brewed Amormentia.
In Divination's class, we experienced a lovely depiction of the tea leaves, more specifically known as the Grim, from Prisoner of Azkaban. We also interacted with the magic crystal balls for house points, which would give you a randomized prediction.
That's gonna be fun!
Herbology!
Our next adventure was Herbology class, where we had to repot some mandrakes for our house points. However, I made the mistake of neglecting my earmuffs. Mandrake.
After being deafened by mandrakes, we had the pleasure of seeing the display of two of the most famous Defense Against the Dark Arts professors, Lockhart and Lupin. Alongside their costumes was shown the autobiographies of Lockhart. The interactive segment of this section had you defeat your Boggart to win house points.
After defeating our Boggarts, Emmy and I made our way to the Forbidden Forest and cast our Patronuses to protect ourselves from Dementors. Emmy was a fan of the way the forest felt almost real as you make your way towards the Triwizard Tournament. Then we found ourselves at a hedge maze, where the Triwizard Cup was on display in all its glory. To the left of the goblet were the uniforms of Harry, Cedric, Krum, and Fleur. I love the way the exhibit mirrored the exact atmosphere of the scene from Goblet of Fire and made you feel like you were truly outside. After passing the seemingly brief exhibit, we turned the wall to encounter a massive dragon. This massive dragon was obviously guarding a golden egg like it had in the movie. Of course, Emmy and I said hi as dragons ourselves. It was a pleasant surprise and a highlight of the exhibit for me.
Hagrid's hut was one of my favorite parts of the exhibition because it felt very cozy and warm, just like the movie. It had subtle features which enhanced the comfortable atmosphere as it displayed props like Norbert's egg and Hagrid's chair.
After exploring the grounds of Hogwarts, we made our way to the Ministry of Magic. We were greeted with a massive time turner suspended from the ceiling and a sign on the wall directing you to where you can find fantastic beasts. Following the sign was Newt Scamander's costume as well as a pile of luggage. Adjacent to Newt's display was the horror of atmospheres that represented Umbridge. Bright pink walls adorned with magical pictures of cats surrounded her desk, where rested a tea set which she doesn't deserve because she is far too odious. This area was bright, fuzzy, and obnoxious, but in the way that represented her character deliciously. To the right of her chair was a wall with all the rules and ordinances which she had enacted against a plain stone wall in direct contrast to her outrageous sea of pink. Her door sits directly in front of her desk, with an eye keeping watch right below her name, next to her costume, also drenched in pink.
The Dursleys' home was very accurate to the original set. It didn't have an interactive game, but it didn't need to. It had Harry's cupboard, which you could sit in. It was very detailed and included his toy soldiers from the first movie.
After visiting Harry's old room, we ventured into the Chamber of Secrets. As we entered the room, right before our eyes was spelled out in blood, the Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the air beware, right above the iconic door with snakes for locks. The letters in Tom Riddle's name were ciphered into Lord Voldemort on a near wall. On the other side of the door were a collection of Horcruxes, including Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, Hufflepuff's goblet, Tom Riddle's journal and the basilisk fang, and the Slytherin locket. In the middle was Voldemort's costume, but more interestingly was the collection of Deathly Hallows to the right of it. The Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, and the Invisibility Cloak were all on display inside a case with the Deathly Hallows symbol.
The light and dark section of the exhibition featured Death Eater uniforms, such as their masks and cloak. Coming to the light side of the light and dark exhibit, we encountered the final costumes of Neville, Ron, Hermione, and Harry. There was an interactive photo op which allowed guests to take a photo as if they were fighting as Harry and Voldemort. The final display of this exhibit were the costumes of Harry and Dumbledore during the train station scene.
And then came the only room we didn't like. Dumbledore's Pensieve, compared to the other rooms, was bland and lackluster. On the walls played scenes from Deathly Hallows Part 2, and there was a Pensieve to your right as you walked in. There was an unlevel cardboard cutout of water in the dish, and a sign prompting you to tap your wristband. I don't know if this was actually meant to do anything, but when I tapped my band, all that happened was my face showing up on the ink in the wall. To the side of the pensive were vials of memories, which were an appreciated detail. There was much in this room, which was mostly taken up by screens.
They stole the house cap again.
Probably used Dumbledore.
Exhibition exclusive items are over here. There's this thing, which is
Pens.
notebook, smaller notebook, book with all the things in the exhibition. Hats, mugs, hat but in white, bag, hoodie, this thing, cup,
Things.
So that was our day at the Harry Potter exhibition. I personally feel like it was worth going to.
Yes.
I love seeing all the costumes and props that they used in the movie.
Yep.
It was great.
It was amazing. So make sure that you like the video and subscribe to our lovely channel.
Yeah, thanks.
That's it. Bye.
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 Bye.